With this second child we had together, let me go back just a little bit. I was in the hospital for an entire month. Okay. Now, within that entire month, and I didn't tell you guys this, he has an older son, right? The baby's mom and that baby's mother and I became kind of like, I guess now that I look back on it, sister wives. Nothing intimate between us. She became my daughter's caregiver, my oldest child's caregiver, right? So when we moved into our own place together, she was there. So she lived with us for about 2 years. Now, this is his first son's mom. So that lets you know what kind of person I am. I'm not a really jealous person, and if you don't give me a reason to feel some type of way about a person, like when I see two people together, it's like sometimes you can kind of see if there's a love connection as opposed to like maybe a brother or sister situation or a platonic situation. Because I have male friends, I clearly love them, but it's platonic love. So I don't have in my mind that men and women cannot be friends, even if they had a relationship before and they've been separated for many years, and then they can come back together and just have conversations. I might be wrong, but I just really believe that people can be platonic friends. I mean, I have people in my past that I might have had a child with, and I don't feel anything for them. I don't feel anything for that person. I just respect. That's it. But I wouldn't go back to them. I wouldn't feel anything about them romantically. So that's why she was in our house for 2 years. But now that I look back on everything, because you have your time that you'll go back and think about stuff once you're out of that situation. Hell, they probably played house for that whole month. Because my husband came to the hospital 2 times when I was in the hospital for a whole entire month. He came twice. But anyway, I had my son. My sister was there when I gave birth. And I was able to go home a little bit after that. My son had to stay at the hospital 2 more weeks after that because, like I said, he was 2 months early. He's a real tiny baby. He weighed 4 pounds. I could hold him with one hand. So when I got back home, I had a lot of help, of course, by that third source that was at my house. I had a lot of help, and I got myself ready to go back to work, basically. Ready to go back and help support my family. We lived kind of quiet for a while. We did. We ended up moving into a house. It wasn't our house, but we ended up moving into a house where everything was seemingly okay. And then my radar hit again in 2011. What happened is I started paying attention to my phone bill. And I saw these international calls on my phone bill. And that calls, and I didn't recognize those numbers because, I recognize some of the international numbers as his family numbers. I could sometimes tell you who those numbers belong to, but I saw this number, I didn't understand, had never seen it. And I noticed it was only calling like when he was at work. And there was messages sent odd hours of the day, late at night from international number. So what I did was I put a app onto his phone, and this app was able to catch his text messaging and phone conversations. Well, there was a female he was looking for. They used to go to school together. He was trying to reconnect with her. So he reconnected with her, and they started an emotional affair. And so I was catching some of the messages and stuff. And so I brought it to his attention. I was very, very hurt. I felt betrayed then. I was very, very hurt by that. And then he assured me, first he said, what are you worried about? She's thousands of miles away. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You don't give me that attention. Why are you giving it to somebody else? I mean, I have like a 5-minute window and then you don't want to talk to me, and you're talking to her the whole time you're at work, and when I call you, it's a problem. It's a problem. You don't want to talk to me. I'm busy. I'm working. So then I told him I didn't want to be with him anymore. I needed him to get out. So he, they do that crying thing like they're going to lose their family, and they seem all sad and whatever. He did that whole little act, and so he goes, I've told her not to call me no more, and I don't want to deal with her anymore. And then his flying monkeys were volunteering to go talk to her, or this is what they said: we're going to go talk to her. This was his sister, his elder sister. No, not one of his elder sisters. One of his sisters that I became close to, and we'll get into that later on with the flying monkey stuff. But anyway, she was like, we're going to go talk to her. We can go talk to her, and don't worry about it. And so I didn't see her number anymore on my phone after that. And so I'm thinking, it's over with. Not thinking that he would have bought another phone to communicate with her. I'm just thinking it's over with. Now, this entire time we're going through his immigration status, because I told you he didn't have his green card. And so he's working and I'm working, and we're trying to get him legally here. And we went through a whole lot with that. My parents gave us money so he could be legally here. I went through some things with him. I assisted his attorneys in assisting him to be here because I had previously worked as a paralegal, and I'm gonna tell you, this immigration process is not cheap. And so there were some things that I took on myself to assist just for him to be here. I mean, we went through a lot. It was a lot mentally, it was a lot financially. We went through a lot. And so let's come up to date. 2017 was he had been approved for everything. He was going to be getting his green card. We had to go back to his home country. Okay, so we go back to the home country in 2017 to get the green card. Now, mind you, this man had bought another phone. He was keeping up the relationship with this female emotionally. So when we get to Mexico, we cross the border. I'm so happy for him because he had not been home in 15 years. So I'm just the ever-loving wife, ever-obliging wife, so happy when my husband's at home. And I'm seeing him interact with his family because I believe I used to feel bad when I was around my family all the time and he couldn't be around his. Only through the telephone he could be around his. And so I was so happy that he was able to physically embrace his sisters, his mom, his dad. I was happy for him. Lo and behold, this man, when he crossed that border, I didn't dog his footsteps. I was so happy for him. So I was like, yeah, you go. Like, I stayed put with the kids in our home that he was having built for us. I wanted him to go and enjoy himself. I didn't want to be like hanging on him, clinging on him the whole time we were there. I wanted him to enjoy himself. Oh, well, he enjoyed himself. Yeah, he did that. He spent time with that other female. They reconnected. That's what started, and they started their physical relationship at that moment in time. Yeah, while I was in the pueblo, at the house, being the good wife and letting him go do what he wanted to do. He did that. But I didn't know then. I didn't know what was going on. I was clueless. Now, everybody around me knew. I didn't know anything. I'm just thinking we're there. My husband's finally home. He's going to get to come back and forth when he wants to. And I don't have to worry about him in the United States getting deported. That was my thinking. And my family is going to be one up. And we're going to be good. With all this worry behind us. I had no clue.